got trained as a laughter leader, and then I love that so much. I got trained as a teacher. So now I teach leaders. And in 2017, I was appointed laughter ambassador by the founder of Laughter Yoga. Laughter yoga is not about fancy pants or poses. It's not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing as an exercise, deciding to laugh. When we're laughing, we're completely present, secreting all the love drugs, and we feel great.
Hi, Cathy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Mark. I'm excited to be here.
I know. I've been waiting to talk to you. How have you been?
I'm doing great. Yeah, so far so good. And summer is going really good. How about you?
Same here. Same here. I just got done shooting a television show last week. So I'm back in Austin now, and I'm looking forward to talking to you.
What was the show about?
I signed an NDA, so I can't tell about it.
Okay.
But it's in February next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more questions.
So you run Cathy's Club, which is a laughter club. What's a laughter club?
Oh, wonderful. Yes. We have a global mental health tsunami, so laughter is needed more than ever. Laughter yoga is not about fancy pants or poses. It's not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing as an exercise, deciding to laugh. When we're laughing, we're completely present, secreting all the love drugs, and we feel great.
How did you come up with this?
I wish I was the one. This started in 1995 by a medical doctor, Dr. Madan Kataria, and his goal is world peace. And I believe, Mark, that it started in 1995 so we could be ready for 2020.
Interesting. So for those of us who don't know what it is, what does that entail? A club where you laugh?
Yeah, so what the laughter leader, so the laughter yoga is deep breathing, little games to inspire the laughter, some clapping and moving, dancing, whatever. So different instructors have different ways of running the club. I do incorporate music because it's a beautiful thing to help move us, literally. So it's really coming together when we're laughing together as a collective. We're making eye contact. We're not on our technology, well, unless we're online. And it just changes everything. It helps us to become more resilient. Laughter is the opposite of stress, and we're living in a very stressful time.
How did you come up with this? I know it was created by somebody in 1995, but how did you find it yourself? How did you find personal value in it? And what were the decisions that made you realize that I need to create a club for this?
Thank you. So it's the 22nd anniversary of my worm composting business, Cathy's Crawly Composters. Selling worms by the pound for indoor composting. Who doesn't want worms in the house? It's okay. I've met most of them. It's fine. That started in 2002. And in 2012, 10 years into my worm mission, one more person said, ew, worms in the house. And I heard it. I felt it. I questioned everything. And I'd heard it many times before, but I wasn't listening. When in business, they say to pay attention to what the clients want. They didn't want what I had. They needed it, but they didn't want it. And we don't buy what we need. We buy what we want. When I questioned everything, I thought, oh, how am I going to do this? My goal is to put worms in every living space, every house, every apartment, every school, and every business. So we don't have to truck around the organic waste anymore. We manage it on site. And I thought, this is so hard. Why do I care so much? First of all, why doesn't anybody else? And what can I do about this? And the universe invited me to laughter yoga. The very next day, when I had that experience, I was introduced to laughter yoga. I don't even do regular yoga. I know it's a fine thing. I jumped right to the fun yoga.
So when you said you were introduced to laughter yoga by the universe at that time, what exactly happened?
I went to a business meeting and the speaker did a 5-minute introduction to laughter yoga. Well, laughter yoga, what's that? It sounds fun. I don't know what that is. So I was intrigued. And that same week, I was at another business networking event, 2012, so hundreds of people. The first woman I met was a laughter yoga teacher. And I said to her, oh, laughter yoga is mainstream, right? Twice in 1 week. It's out there. And she said, no, it isn't. And we trooped around together that night. And everybody we met, I'd say, have you heard of laughter yoga? Have you? Nobody had. And I started to attend her club, which was a 5-minute walk. There's a lot of signs. And that's what I really want people to know. And we do know, if we're paying attention, there are signs. Oh, what's that? There it is again. Oh, what is that? I started to attend her club. It was 5 minutes walk from my mother-in-law's. And it used to be our date night. Her club was monthly. So we'd go out for dinner, then we'd go and laugh, and it was so great. And then her club closed. It was in a part of Toronto that I'm in Canada. It was in a place in Toronto where it's Condoville, like 20,000 people must live at that corner. And it struck me as very sad. I just thought, oh, we just need 10 people. They just don't know that this super fun thing is in their basement. She had to close her club because she was renting space, and we're not in business to lose money or even break even. When people are like, oh, I broke even, you could have stayed home and broke even. So I got trained as a laughter leader. And then I love that so much. I got trained as a teacher. So now I teach leaders. And in 2017, I was appointed laughter ambassador by the founder of Laughter Yoga.
Wow. Wow. So for those who are listening to this, obviously a great resource is to join your club, right? But if they wanted to try this in their own house, how would they go about it? What are some tips and tricks that you can give as an ambassador of this type of therapy?
Yeah. As soon as we smile, Mark, we send a note to our brain, hey, I must be happy. So we can trick ourselves. I think there's something in acting that they put a pencil in your teeth and you're holding it. So you automatically have that smile.
Yeah.
Same thing. We can trick our brain. When we're laughing, our body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. Our brain does. Our brain's, wow, what's happening? Why are you laughing? That's the ego piping off because it wants to keep us safe and conserve energy. And our body's, boom, all the love drugs. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins versus cortisol and adrenaline. What I would suggest to people that are listening, yes, for sure, join a laughter club. There are clubs online. Before 2020, there were very few opportunities to laugh online. And even the founder thought we needed to be in person to experience the benefit of laughter. And we know what happened 2020, everything shut down. We all pivoted. We're all online now. We're all Zoom experts. I wish I had chairs. Yeah. And so now it works so well online with Zoom. We have gallery view. So everybody's looking at each other. You're safe in your own Zoom space. And that's what it is. Just connecting, doing little games. So there's clapping. When we're clapping palm to palm, so we're activating the meridians. We can just get energy just by clapping. And the rhythm is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The words are ho, ho, ha. And when I started laughter yoga, I thought that part was so weird. It was because I don't need priming. I'm a natural laugher. For people that are very cerebral, they're in their heads, they think a lot, and they need to know why. Why am I doing this? This clapping gives them something to do with their hands. And it's like the experiment, the psychologist, was it Skinner? No, who did? Oh, Pavlov was the doctor with the dog, gave him a treat and rang a bell. Then he didn't have to give the treat anymore. He just rang the bell. Same idea. When we're clapping, our brain says, oh, it must be happy time. I'm clapping and doing the whole ha. So already we just jump into preparedness for laughing.
So in a way, because we clap in happy times, birthday celebration, our brain is conditioned to think clapping equals happiness or a happy moment. So that's what we're tapping into. The example that you gave about holding a pencil in between your mouth, again, forcing the mouth to be wide open, making the brain think that you're happy. Is that what we're going for here?
It absolutely is. And there's all kinds of hacks. So as a laughter yoga teacher, I incorporate tapping, EFT, emotional freedom technique, Qigong, and a whole whack of energy modality. Laughter goes with everything. It's complementary medicine. Nobody's that I know of, nobody is overdosed from laughing too much. Like
nobody has overdosed from laughing too much. I love it. I love it. What is EFT and tapping? I've heard about this. What is it?
Oh, wonderful. So EFT is emotional freedom technique. It's tapping on meridians. So there is a whole mantra you start, but what I do with my laughter club is tap on 4 spots. It's tapping on meridians. So like acupuncture, that's the energy pathways in the body. Okay. If you've ever seen one of those pictures of the body where it's standing and you see all the lines, those are the meridians. It's one constant pathway with kind of 14 segments. So it goes to different organs, different systems in the body. So when we're tapping on those spots, it helps that particular organ. And whenever we have pain or we're stuck somewhere, it's usually energy is stuck. Everything is energy. Tapping on the meridians helps us to move that energy along.
Interesting. And how does laughter incorporate with that?
Yeah. So what I do with the tapping, I offer several ways to incorporate it. I don't go through the whole mantra of, because there is ways that if you have something that you're working on, you can tap and say, even though I have this headache, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you do a whole round of tapping. What I do is just incorporate 4 spots: stomach, So tapping here, this helps to get us grounded right under your eye. Yes. And then on your cheekbone, and then on your collarbone, tapping there, that's kidney meridian. On your thymus, that's where cancer cells go to mature. And I have people take a deep breath in while they're tapping, and then we on your thymus, and you make noise like just getting your stress out, like and then you end with.
So those who are
sleep.
listening to the podcast and not watching the video, a thymus is
It's in the center. It's on your sternum, like between it's on your breastbone, on your chest, right in the center of your rib cage. And it's really important. These spots are very important. These organs work hard for us, and we're living in a perpetual state of stress. So this just helps us get back into our body and regulate so that we can get into parasympathetic. We have two nervous systems, sympathetic and parasympathetic. One is the stress response and one is the relaxation response. We can't be in both at the same time. So this helps us to get into sympathetic, which is rest and digest mode, where we're feeling good.
Is there a specific time of the day when one should be doing this?
It's personal. I love starting my day with laughter. It gives me that boost of energy. I'm not a late night laugher. Some people can go to the gym and then come home and go to sleep. That's not me, right? I'm all revved up and I have everything flowing and now I'm up, now I'm alive, alert, awake.
Yeah.
So it depends. So it's personal. If people can go to the gym and then go to sleep, maybe nighttime is good laughing for them. For people that want to start their day and you get the boost of energy, the love drugs. And I think the most important piece for laughter is the oxygen. Our brain requires 25% more oxygen than the rest of our body as an operating principle. It's a machine, the answering machine. So when we're stressed, blood, lymph, oxygen leaves our brain and we go into fight, flight, or freeze, right? So those fluids, the oxygen have gone into our muscles so we can get out of that stressful situation. I think something that people don't understand about stress is the stress response in our brain has not changed since prehistoric times. At that time, we needed to know if we were in imminent danger. We needed to know if something was going to harm us. Today, when we go into stress, if we lose our keys, it's annoying. Or we miss the bus, what a nuisance. It's not life-threatening, but our body acts as if. So we're secreting all those stress hormones, we're not breathing properly, and it takes a few hours for our body to recover from that episode. Same, if we have a laughing episode, it takes hours for our body to recover from that, but how wonderful. We're feeling all relaxed, rejuvenated. So back to our brain. So we're not breathing properly. Our body's not getting what it needs. For sure, our brain isn't. I know everybody's lost their keys, phone, glasses at some point where you're flapping around, you're looking for your keys and you can't find them because you're getting more stressed as you're searching around, frantically searching. So what you can do is stop, take a beautiful deep breath in, laugh it off, apologize to all the people you just yelled at, and then you'll find your keys. So we can live without food and water for a few days. We can only live without oxygen for a few minutes. Laughter forces us, right? You can't just because you're exhaling. You have to take a deep breath in so you can continue laughing.
Wow. Yeah, for most of us, we wake up in the morning and we're grumpy and we close our eyes and go for the coffee pot and we're trying to give us a jolt of energy to get going with the day. But most people would say they are grumpy. If you are somebody who is a slow waker, you wake up slowly, I would think that this laughter therapy would be the best thing for them.
Oh, it would be like a cold plunge for people that are doing the cold plunge, similar to that, like where it's a kind of an assault to your system in a good way. And I do have early birds who arrive I have a free online laughter club and I have people arrive. It's 6:30 in the morning for them. So I can only imagine that they recently rose and then they come and they laugh. And it's such a wonderful way to start the day.
Wonderful way to start the day. So obviously we are going to link your laughter club. You said it's free. That's wonderful. What a great gift you're giving to people so that they can join it. But let's say someone is in a place where they cannot join it, right? And you said when you wake up in the morning, you do it, you practice it yourself. So what is something an individual can do on their own without joining a class at home? Can you give some exercises like a walkthrough of things that they can do?
Absolutely. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, before jumping out of bed, you said people are grumpy. Don't get out of bed grumpy. That's what I would first, that's my first suggestion is just pause for a moment. Take 2 or 3 beautiful deep belly breaths. Slow down your breathing. You know what happens in the morning? We wake up and we think about all the things that we got to do. Oh, this and that meeting and that conversation, all the to-do lists. We run through that. No wonder we wake up grumpy. I would suggest not doing that. Train yourself to focus on the breath. Think about something that you're grateful for, even that it's that you woke up that day if you're having a hard time in life. Because there are days, there are times in our life where we're just struggling. There's so many things going on. That's when we need laughter more than ever. It's easy to laugh during good times or feel good when things are going well. It's when things are challenging that we need to employ these strategies that can help calm our body down. There's no point in going at not no point because a lot of people are going through life looking after everybody else and not taking care of themselves. I don't have time to go to the gym. I got to get the kids. I got to do this. I got to prepare how to do the job. Maybe wake up a little bit earlier so you have time for that self-care. It's really important. I realized since 2020, in the past 4 years, I've taken my health really serious, even before that, but during the time, I realized there's no room at the inn. We need to look after ourselves because the hospitals are filled and maybe you get sick when you get there because you get something there. Not funny. So for me, I have a morning routine. When I wake up, I take those breaths. I think, what am I grateful for today? And maybe sometimes it's just, oh, I woke up today. I feel good. Okay, good start. Oh, I have an important meeting today. Good. That's great. Business is happening. And then I'll go outside. I have the privilege. I live in a house. Not everybody does. So I have a backyard. I go out and I earth. I have my bare feet on the ground. Earthing is another piece that people don't understand how simple this is. As soon as we started wearing shoes, whenever that was, centuries ago, we got disconnected from the earth's energy. That's what feeds us. So we are energy. Whenever we're feeling stress, that energy, if we're not releasing it, it's swirling around in our body. So we can go out, stand on the earth with our bare feet and discharge that energy and that get recharged with the earth's energy.
How
It
long
calms us
should
down.
one do that for?
If people, even 5 minutes, for me, as soon as I stand on the earth, I get that calming. I'm quite aware. I'm very in tune with my body. I would say if you can do it 5 minutes, if you want to take your coffee out there and just sit and have your coffee with your feet on the open earth, read your book. You don't have to be doing anything else. Although I do combine my morning routine. I do my stretches. I do my deep breathing. I have an energy routine that I do. And people say, how do you have time to do anything else? It only takes, my morning routine is about 15 minutes. Sometimes a half an hour if I incorporate a guided meditation or something. 15 minutes. If you don't have 15 minutes for yourself, I'm sorry for you. Really, we need to put ourselves first. And our society has deemed that selfish. Oh, you're always doing stuff for yourself. How selfish. No, imagine when we're whole, then we come to the situation whole and we can help other people when we're whole.
Yeah, absolutely. We get stuck in the minutia of life, and sometimes it seems like we don't even have 15 minutes a day. But we put our time and our money where our priorities are. And unfortunately, when we are saying that we don't have the time to do this, it means that we are not prioritizing ourselves, which is crazy because without us, whatever we think is important, it doesn't matter. So many of us sacrifice ourselves for our children, for our spouses, for our family, for our partners. And it feels good in some ways to be there for everybody. At what cost? With our own declining mental health and physical health, by not taking care of ourselves, we are doing disservice to those people that we care so much about, that we are sacrificing ourselves for. So it's a loop. It's a vicious circle.
It is. Without our health, everything else goes away. Everything else goes away. And I would say if people say, I don't have time, just have a look at how much time you spend scrolling. How much time are you on Facebook? No judgment. Just if you took a little chunk of that time and went and did some self-care. Or how much time are you watching TV or watching Netflix or all these things that we spend time just blindly doing. I was on Facebook and I was hacked last fall. And it was so challenging to get back on to try and verify that it was me. It's me, not that person that did that horrible thing. And it was so much work to get back on. I said, you know what? I don't think I need to be there. This is a message that I'm not supposed to be there. When I was on Facebook, I realized I would log out and then I'd find myself there again. I was like, how did I get here again? How come I'm on Facebook again? So other than a few groups that I really enjoyed being in, I totally don't miss Facebook.
Yeah, social media is definitely, in one way, it's supposed to have brought everybody together because we can communicate with people who are living thousands of miles away. But despite this technology that is supposed to have brought everybody closer together, I don't think mankind has ever been lonelier because we are consumed into the device instead of actually communicating with people and talking to people. And then that's where relationships are built and that's where hearts are filled. So going back to your morning routine, you talked about waking up in the morning, taking a couple of minutes extra to lay in bed, close your eyes, deep breathing, being grateful for whatever you're grateful for that day, getting out. If you have the opportunity, go into the backyard, do some earthing, connect yourself with Mother Earth. What else? Where does laughter come into play with this?
I have a laughter buddy. She calls me at 7:30 every morning and I don't say hello. I just start laughing. I pick up the phone and we laugh for 2 full minutes. Just no talking, just laughing. 1 minute of deep breathing, 2 additional minutes. So a 5-minute routine, it changes everything. After that, so we've been doing that since December 2021, every day for however many years that is. And it's every morning, I just think, I love this practice. It just gets me ready. I'm fully oxygenated. I've giggled. The love drugs are careening through my body. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I have my force field on. My shield is on. I'm ready for the world. What do you got for me today, world?
I love it. But let me ask you this. Do you have people who sometimes shy away from this just because they think others are going to think that there's something wrong?
Yes. Oh, yes. There's a few different types of people who arrive. Ones who think they laugh enough already. They're like, I laugh all the time. Okay. Do you have rock hard abs from laughing? Okay. Then you don't laugh enough. Right? Because our diaphragm is connected to all of our organs. It's like internal jogging when we're laughing. There was a doctor or a journalist, Norman Cousins, who I think it was in the 70s, was diagnosed with a fatal illness. And the doctor said, get your affairs in order. You don't have long. And he was like, no, I'm not ready yet. And he started watching comedies, mostly like those slapstick, Laurel and Hardy and Charlie Chaplin and whatever Three Stooges, whatever, just funny stuff that without any meaning really. And he found that 10 to 15 minutes of mirthful laughter, so deep belly laughs, gave him 2 hours of pain-free sleep. Wow. We have our own morphine in our body, our own chemicals that is stronger actually than morphine. We're in charge of our own pharma. And that's what I really would love for people to understand is that we get to decide how we feel. Stressful situations are going to happen. We're going to get news. How fast can we recover? That's the question. And that's the gift that laughter has done for me. It's changed my life. I don't go a day without laughter now because I realize the importance. So that it's the priority, as you said. We don't prioritize the right things.
I am meeting you now in this state, and you're joyful, and you laugh, and you have a good energy about you. I'm having trouble imagining Cathy ever not being joyful. So tell me a little bit about what was life like before laughter therapy. Is there a significant difference in between how you're living back then and how you're living now?
Yes. Back to the worms. Before, when somebody said, ooh, worms in the house, on a certain level, I took it personal.
So before we even get into that, let's backtrack a tiny bit more so that the audience has an understanding. Talk about the worms. What is it that we're trying to accomplish with the worms?
It's indoor composting with worms. So in 2002, the landfill for the Greater Toronto Area closed, largest city in Canada. Although we're Canada's second largest country in the world, we couldn't find a place to site a new landfill. And we started to export our garbage to the US. Sorry, almost 1,000 trucks a week. We're making the way. We found a place. Don't worry. It's okay. That only went on for a bit because it cost too much money. Imagine how much to ship all that garbage. Yay, Michigan, for taking all our garbage and our cash. But then what? There's no way. People think that the environment is out there. The environment is where we live. So when we're polluting Michigan, we're polluting Canada and Africa and Asia. Yeah. It's all one. So in Toronto, 6 million people live in the Greater Toronto Area. Half live in condos, townhouses, places without space to do outdoor composting. this is indoor composting. I had a solution and I just saw a way to help. I started my business as a waste management tool, but realized early on that people wanted the final product. They wanted the black gold that the worms were creating. They may not have wanted worms in the house or to do the composting process, but they wanted the black gold. They wanted it for their gardens.
Interesting. So you got started with this, and then let's lead into what life was like, and then prior to Laughter Club and what happened afterward.
Yeah, so I was going forth. I have a psych degree, so I'm fascinated by people. So when people said, ew, I was like, oh gosh, so many people don't like worms. Or if you were traumatized as a child after a rainy day or a fishing incident where the green goo's coming out of the worm, you're not looking to that as a solution as an adult. So I took on school workshops back in 2002. I started to educate. And over 75,000 students have seen my presentation. It's probably still my favorite part of my worm business is doing worm workshops and watching people transform from ooh to ah. And yeah, I started to do that. And then in 2012, when one more person said, ooh, worms in the house, and I questioned everything, was introduced to laughter yoga, it just helped me to become more resilient. Now I don't take it personal. I think, okay, they're not ready yet. It's not for them yet. And same with when other stressful things happen in my life. When I feel my body getting tightened up, I'm not breathing properly, I notice now and I go, oh, I'm stressed. I better shake it off. So I'll go outside, I'll earth, I'll shake, I'll laugh, because you can laugh without jokes or comedy. You can do it by yourself. It's just certainly easier in a club or with somebody.
As I'm thinking through this, if somebody doesn't have the opportunity to join a club online or in person for whatever reason, and it's in the beginning stages and they're still feeling shy about laughing out loud in their house because they don't know what others are going to think, if they have roommates or family members, most people are driving to work. And usually when they're driving to work, they're in their car alone and the windows are rolled up. Perhaps that could be a good place to just get started before they get used to it, before they can do it in front of other people, right?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the activities, so there are 40 foundational exercises in laughter yoga. It's a global movement. There are laughter clubs in over 120 countries. North America's a late adopter, so it's fairly new here. So one of the activities is called cell phone laughter. It's all about imagination and creativity. So you pull out your cell phone, you imagine, and you pretend like somebody's telling you the funniest thing. What people can do for real is pull out their cell phone. Nobody knows if you're talking to someone. And you can just be laughing. And then if somebody's like, oh, what are you laughing at? You can just be like, oh, funny story.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. I didn't think of that. Is there something else? Anything else like that? You said there are 40 foundational exercises?
Yes, they're all just silly. There's so many. There's a new product on the market, Mark. It's called Laughter Cream. Yeah, it comes in a pump. It's so convenient. So you just pump it out, and wherever you put it, you start laughing. And so laughter cream and the like, so it could be laughter sunscreen or laughter mosquito repellent that you spray on, air freshener, window cleaner that has like you're cleaning your camera, right? It's just silly. Look at you smiling, so beautiful. Nice smile, by the way. So these are just little silly games to inspire the laughter. It's really funny when I talk about laughter cream. When I say, hey, there's a new product on the market, people will go, laughter cream. Come on, there is no. Yeah, it comes in a pump. Sometimes it comes in a big jar and you just scoop out what you need.
Scoop it out.
You can laugh at your pain. So if you have a sore shoulder, you can be like, put your hand there. You rub your hands because our hands are the conductors. These are the healing hands. So you rub your hands together to get the energy going. Then you can put your hand on your shoulder if you have a sore shoulder and you laugh. And you imagine the energy going to your shoulder or your knees or you have a headache. And the energy goes where we place our hands.
Amazing. What's the vision for you? You care a lot about the environment. That showed with the relentless effort that you've put towards educating people about composting. You obviously care a lot about people's mental health and physical health. And you've invested so much time and energy in creating these laughter clubs. What is your vision? Where do you want to be in a couple of years? Or where do you want the world to be in a couple of years through your service?
Thank you. So many. I have a few big, hairy goals. And mostly with laughter right now. Since 2020, we've had a global mental health tsunami. It was here before. It's bigger now because more people were isolated. And I'm sure you still know people who are struggling today from 2020, from that time, that they haven't recovered from that. Special needs, working with special needs is one of my soft spots, and seniors. As I have this big goal. It came to me in 2020, this vision, and it's taking longer than I imagined because it's not a solo mission. If anyone listening wants to help, I'm here for you. It's to create a program for folks with Down syndrome to be laughter yoga leaders so they can lead laughter for their demographic. In Canada, our system is broken. Young folks with special needs get graduated out of the public school system at 18, and they're put on a disability pension, which is not enough money to live independently. It's just like a little pittance. It's broken. The system's broken. If they work, the money is taken off their meager pension. So there's no incentive to work, and many of the folks don't care about money anyway. It's not about money. It's about being part of community. Yeah, so I have been working in this area. So Down syndrome, are you familiar with Down syndrome?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yes, Down syndrome doesn't know socioeconomics. It doesn't recognize your financial status. It doesn't recognize country borders. It just is. And it is around the world. And so this is something that is going to affect people. It's going to change the world for a lot of people and their families. So that's what I'm working on right now. Another piece is just having more people present. I want people to care about the planet. But when you're in a mental crisis, that's where you are. You can't think about if your neighbor's okay. You're struggling yourself.
Yes.
And there's so many people in that situation. Again, with my psych degree, I'm like, oh, who was most damaged during that time? There's no answer because it's individual. I think about the children. I was recently at a networking event, and they had the CEO or the president of the children's hospital in Phoenix Children's Hospital. He said in 2018, 62 children came in the whole year of 2018. 62 children came in with suicidal ideation. Today, they average around 7 children per day. So they get more people in a week, more children in a week than they had in a whole year, which 62 in a whole year is still too many.
Yeah.
And the average age is 12, which means there's people younger than 12 wanting to end their time here. So there's a lot of work to do. Yesterday, I was speaking to a young woman with military roots, and she works with an organization called Fighters for Hope, helping vets and military dealing with PTSD, again, with suicide, mental health. And it's just, oh my gosh, there's just so many areas. That's why there's so much opportunity in laughter. It's fairly new. It's complementary. We don't need to talk about our trauma. I think that's where it plays a big role. Talk therapy is probably a fine thing, but you need to revisit the trauma. With laughter therapy, it's laughing. It's laughing, and it brings us to the present. We don't need to talk about it. It frees us up. It brings us present. We secrete the love drugs. We get oxygenated. So when our brain is oxygenated, we can come up with more creative solution. When we're stressed and shut down, we're closed and our brain isn't getting oxygen. So more solutions can't come in. Yeah, what is my goal? I have so many. And I want to train. I'm a teacher, so I want to train. I plan to have at least quarterly training sessions online and in person so that I can train more leaders. Dr. Kataria's goal is world peace, Mark. What a great mission. And I do believe it's possible. I know there's a lot of shenanigans going on at this time. There's a lot of hate and a lot of isms going on. And I think that we just need to see the other people. We just need to witness them. We need to just be present with other people and hold space and realize, oh my gosh, they're just like me. Because we are. We all want the same things. And I believe that at the core, we all want to be happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the work that you're doing is paramount towards that goal, because you're working not only at a micro level where you're helping specific individuals, but your goals and your vision and your efforts are also aligned towards a macro level, which is not only going to help communities and societies, but maybe also the world as a whole. How do people get in touch with you, Cathy?
Oh, I hope they come to my Tuesday Laughter Club. My website is club.com, Cathy with a C. My Laughter Club is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Zoom, 30 minutes of super fun self-care. And and people don't have to worry, oh, is she going to follow up? No, I just want people to come and get out of stress. I want people to feel good, because when we feel good, we do good. We need more do-gooders.
Love it. Love it. The fact that you are so kind with your time, so generous with your time, that you organize and run this free laughter club for the benefit of individuals that you may never even see. It speaks volumes towards your personality, the energy, and the type of person you are. It's so wonderful meeting you, Cathy. Thank you so much for being on our show, and we'll talk to you soon again.
Thank you, Mark.